Hey everyone, it's your favourite Sonic Transformers Top Gun fanboy who lives in Down Under, Rui. So some of you can probably guess by reading the title of this video, this isn't episode 4 of Sonic and the Autobots, nor much of an animation in general, really. As some of you might guess, this video is more of a, I don't really want to say serious video, but it's something that I just really need to address to everyone who watches my content. Today I'm going to share with you guys the hard effort and the process I have to go through with making this little fanfiction series of mine that is Sonic and the Autobots. Because as much as I love this series, making it certainly isn't a simple task, and sometimes it can be quite stressful. One question I get asked on a daily basis several times is, when's the next episode of Sonic and the Autobots coming out? Now, before one of you goes ahead and types that very question in the comment section of this video, I'm going to say it right here, right now. Episode 4 is in production, okay? Look, I understand a lot of you guys really love the series, and don't get me wrong, I love it too, and I cannot believe how popular it has become, but making this series takes time. Literally, every animator you speak to will tell you the same exact thing. Animation is a marathon, not a sprint. Now, I know most of you guys have heard me say that several times before, but I know there's still a fair share of people out there who don't understand that. Now, yes, I understand waiting for something you really want can be painstaking at times, but I can't just snap my fingers and make a new animation. Believe me, I wish I could sometimes, but that's just not possible in this reality. Whilst I'm incredibly grateful for all the love and support you guys have shown me, as well as the series itself, there's just quite a few folks out there that don't understand how hard it is to make just one episode of this series. And getting asked this question on a daily basis can sometimes be a real drag. So what exactly goes into making an episode of Sonic and the Autobots? Well, it's divided up into 3 phases: pre-production, production, and post-production. I'm sure most of you can probably guess what each of these phases involve, but let's dive a little deeper. Pre-production involves writing the script and doing the voiceover. Production is where all the animating happens, and post-production is rendering all the animations and then stitching it all together in DaVinci Resolve or some other sort of editing software. It doesn't sound like much from those brief descriptions, I know, but let me say right now, all of these phases alone can take quite a long time to get through. Phase 2 is the one that certainly takes the longest. A common question I get asked is, how hard is animation, or how long does it take to make an animation? And to be honest, that's a really tricky question to answer because some scenes take longer than others. Like, for example, a fight sequence takes longer to make than a conversation scene, for example. If I were to give you a rough estimate though, I'd say about 1 to 2 minutes of animation takes about 1 week to make, or at least that's how it is for me. So hopefully that sheds some light on why animation can sometimes be a grueling process and why it takes such a long time. But what about phase 1 and phase 3? Well, let's start with phase 1. The script for each episode is often about a dozen pages in length at least. Episode 4 script is literally the longest one yet, with 17 full pages of dialogue. As you can probably tell, that's quite a big script. So writing the script can take quite a few days, and then of course I get my scripts proofread so they don't sound cringe or stupid or anything. Shout out to my buddy Wade Motions who helps me out with that. So writing the script is one thing, but recording it is a whole nother process. Basically, once the script is ready, I send it off to my voice cast and they do their job and, well, voice the characters, of course. Now, let me be clear. I'm not someone that rushes my voice cast. I try to give them as much time as I can to work on their lines because, 1, they've got commitments to other channels as well as their own channels, and 2, they've got lives outside of voiceover. Like, I don't expect them to get their lines back to me literally the day I send them. You know, that's asking a bit much. I care about my team's well-being, and the last thing I want to do is put them under any unnecessary pressure. So if something was wrong, or if they just weren't in a position to do voiceover for me for the time being, I would want them to tell me immediately. Yes, I do check in with them every few weeks or so just to make sure things are okay and they're still on board with it. But, you know, I'm not someone that goes around demanding them to get their work done because, you know, that's not fair on them and that just gives me a bad reputation and I don't want that. If any of my VAs are watching this right now, just know I'm always there for you guys. It's always a pleasure working with you on stuff, whether it's Sonic and the Autobots or something else. It's just always a blast to work with you guys, and you guys play a big part in bringing my content to life. So again, just thank you so much. But all that aside, recording the lines still takes quite a while, especially given how big the cast is. So It often takes about a month or so to get all the lines for every character done, so I hope you guys can understand now that recording character lines isn't something that gets done overnight. It can take a little while to get through sometimes. But anyway, enough of Phase 1, what about Phase 3? Well, that's usually the easiest part, but that doesn't mean it's something that gets done within an hour or something. Rendering animations can often take a really long time, especially if the animation is long, and if it's got a lot of character models and visual effects and everything, that often takes longer to render. And although rendering isn't hard, it's just a long wait time basically. So it's like you just gotta let your computer run and let it render something, and you just gotta sit there and do nothing. Like, it's one of those things, like it's not something it's not hard rendering, but it just takes a long time to get through. And then of course, once all the rendering's done, I stitch it all together in sort of post-editing software. Now, editing in post is something that kind of varies in how long it takes. Like, some things are hard, some things are not. Like, you know, sort of putting all the clips in the right order isn't too tricky. And of course, applying background music isn't hard either, but doing things like composite shots or applying additional effects like speed lines, for example, that can often take quite a bit longer. So as I said, Phase 3 is certainly the easiest part of the 3 phases, but it still requires a lot of effort, and it still requires attention to detail to make each episode perfect. So, do you guys see it all now? Hopefully you all do, because I did my best to explain all of these phases as clearly as I could without rambling on too much. As I said before, I love Sonic and the Autobots, and I'm not going to stop making it, but by any chance, can we please dial this back a little bit? Because if I'm being honest, whilst I don't take these sorts of comments personally or anything, I'd be lying if I said seeing new comments of this nearly every single day didn't put any stress on me. I know you guys are passionate about the series, and I'm really glad you guys are passionate about the series, but I kindly ask if we can stop asking this question on nearly every single video I make. I'm sure someone's probably already typed that very question in the comment section of this video without even watching it all the way through, but oh well. So anyways, where is episode 4 at? I'm sure that's something all of you would like to know. So for those of you that have stuck around to watch this whole video, I can happily say the animation process has started and we're now into Phase 2 of episode 4's production. When will it be released? I have no idea. That's really going to depend on everything I've touched on in this video, but I promise it will come. Just be patient with me, guys, and you will get it. The series isn't going anywhere anytime soon. But regardless, that's all I really wanted to say. For those of you that took the time to watch this whole thing all the way through and listen to everything I had to say, thank you so much. This was something that had been bothering me for quite a while, so I just really needed to get this off my chest. So just thank you guys for taking the time to listen to me, and I hope you guys have a better understanding on what the process of animation is now. Also, if you guys did make it to the end of this video, I would really appreciate it if you guys typed in the comment section, #WeGotYourBack, mate. I could really use that right now. Like, the motivation you guys give me really strives me to keep going, so I could really use that right now to sort of stay motivated with episode 4. But anyways, thank you all for watching, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys in whatever the next animation is. See you guys.